Hey folks, it's just about a quarter of, and we're at the town hall here in Western. And we've got some neat stuff going on. As you can see, here's a new uh, meter that they were putting in last Saturday morning or Tuesday, I'm not sure, Monday, Tuesday possibly. The old Time Warner box. I don't think they're using that anymore. But in any case, yeah, this is the new electrical panel that they were putting in just the other day when we stopped by, where they had to actually replace that service right up here to the very top. And this is a 100 amp service, which is just about the minimal amount of service that you would want in any kind of a building whatsoever. And that's what they put in at the town hall in Western, which is the most minimal circuit that you could possibly install in a building today in the town of Western. While they were here, we spoke with them for a couple minutes about this wire, the feed wire from the pole across the street here, and how that was coming over here, and if that was indeed old service or new service, and if that wire would handle a 200 amp service as well, just for the future growth of this town hall. I don't know about the rest of the public here, but our concern is that when you install a 100 amp service in a building the size of this town hall that has an upstairs that's massive, it's kind of like, did you just shortchange the public with respect to this installation of a 100 amp service, a minimal amp service for a building this size? Minimal, totally minimal of any size. You just don't get less than 100 amps anymore. So our concern is that if they're going to install anything in this building in the future, as they are suggesting that they are, what would it have cost extra to put in a 200 amp meter and 22 feet of 200 amp entrance wire? And of course, the wire from here to the pole would be NIMO or National Grid, whoever it is, so we wouldn't be necessarily responsible for that, I don't believe. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But what I am thinking is that why put in a minimal 100 amp service on a building that's going to need air conditioning, that may very well need at least 150 to 200,000 BTUs of that cooling power in order to resolve the heat buildup issues in this building. Now, maybe they're simply saying, well, we'll do that when it comes time. No, that's okay, but it probably cost, I don't know if insurance covered this or not, and if it did, no big deal, but the people could have saved maybe $700 or $800 or $1,000 or maybe even $2,000 by putting this 200 amp service in with that insurance money for an extra a few $100s instead of mobilizing everybody to come out and install a 200 amp service in the future. So that's just what was done in the town of Western here recently, and that's what's happening with that. Now, something else that's very interesting is we've got this going on today, right here. This is a special meeting. It's coming up to Wednesday, the 18th. Now, we asked Anna on her way out of the building when we got here at 6:35 what was going on with this meeting, and if she knew what this meeting was about. Now, see, it doesn't say whether this is a town board meeting. It doesn't say whether it's a planning board meeting. It doesn't say whether it's a committee for building. It doesn't say whether it's a zoning board. About what these folks are doing to keep the people informed about their meeting schedule and what they're talking about in these meetings. So, Yep, there's a PV Catanzaro mobile, as you can see out there, right here parked. We leave that here all day long at the town hall, and we take it home at night. We take it home at night for our advertising pleasure, because there are no policies, procedures, or laws that we know of in the town of Western that prevents a sign on a vehicle. In fact, we did get images of the National Grid truck here that had signs on it that stated National Grid. And as well, when there were some folks working over here on the electrical, they had a truck here that had a sign on the back, something about their child. So you know, to not be able to have a sign on your truck is just kind of odd in a town where they allow other signs. So we're waiting yet to see if they retaliate or come up with some kind of way to, with some kind of retribution for us for doing this, which is totally legal today in the town of Western. Now, tomorrow they may create some new laws, or Wednesday, they might create new laws that tell people in the town of Western that you can't do exactly what we're doing right here. And that might be what the meeting's about, that they're going to change the policies, they're going to change everything about all of this signage like this. And that's simply amazing, isn't it? And you're going to see it take place. Because when somebody makes an arbitrary law or an arbitrary policy that you really can't enforce, the only way you can enforce it is making it more arbitrary. And that's exactly what the town of Western will probably do, because we have that sign out here and they don't like it and they're going to get rid of it. So let's see if that meeting covers that or not. I have no clue, no idea whatsoever. But we're taking a stab in the dark and we're saying that's probably what it's about. And if it's not, that's perfect. So, thanks for joining Kathleen Kelly Only. And we're going to go ahead and transfer over to our live feed now for the Town of Western Civic Affairs Planning Board meeting, where there is never an agenda. And nobody ever knows what the town is talking about here in these meetings, or going to talk about in these meetings, because the people in Western just plain don't matter. So we'll see you in just a few minutes.